जय राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय राम ओम श्री 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 राम I need this. I need this. That's why.
Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri 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 Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Hotspot. Net works. Not at all. Going round and round. Put hotspot. Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
എൻ്റെ നെറ്റ് എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ.
ASHRAM Ramaswamy.
ചൊല്ലാതെ
1931. Connected. Just you can just remove. Home. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಶ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Oh, we are late by 10 minutes. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om. We were sitting with the translation work, so we forgot about the timing. Sorry. Acha, now coming back, again we have received one email. Dear Papa, a letter to Papa, no? A tendency should be there in us to address Papa, either vocally or in writing. You might all remember that Puja Mataji, even after scaling the heights, even when Papa was in body, and later on when he dropped the body, she used to write regular letters which were appearing in the vision. What is the message she is giving to us? To keep constant remembrance of him. Because to her it was very clear, Papa stands for the indwelling and all-pervading reality. Though everything is happening by that power, still, so long as we are an embodied soul, we behave like that, no?
So she used to write letters. If you go through, in fact, you might be knowing, we would have shared with you, probably the first or second job, when we started coming on a regular basis to ashram in 89. One day Puja Swamiji called and said, can you give everything in one file? So we had to go through the entire vision volume, put a tag on wherever Mataji's letter comes, and then type it out. On those days there was no computer. And then after typing it out, we gave a small subtitle, date, and then put it in a file so that it would be easy for Swamiji to pick up anything at any time. Later on, we knew that he wanted it only to be inserted in the book Vishwamata Krishna Bai. So the message is that we are in touch with the Almighty, we are in touch with our Guru. So we request all to develop this tendency, writing a letter. You can tear it off. Nobody needs to see this. Because every now and then when we are confronted with various problems in our sadhana, we are reporting to our boss. So it could be due to a personal prayer or self-originated prayer. Again, we make it very clear. Not we are reading somebody's prayer. We know that it did not have much desired result. But it should be a self-originated prayer. The self-originated prayer can be in the form of a letter. So here, one devotee now keeps on writing to Papa. We have read many such letters to everybody. Today we have received, Dear Papa, as we are progressing in-depth study of the inquest of God, you are slowly making us aware that in fact we are making in-depth study into our own life. In fact, we are making the in-depth digging into our own life to find out the treasure. Exactly, this is what we are just now translating. Because there is a beautiful sloga in Viveka Chudamani that also we are bringing out. I'll complete this and come back to that. By your grace, now we are so eager to do the in-depth study into ourselves and find the treasure. I think better I will explain about the treasure. There is a beautiful sloga in Viveka Chudamani, Adi Shankaras. Aptoktim khananam tatho parishila tuktarshanam sigridim nikshepas samkshepate vahinahi shabdaistu nirgachati tadvad brahma vidovadesha mananat dhyanavitar labhyade maya karya tirohitam swamamalam. One more word is it. The meaning is, there is a treasure. We don't know where the treasure is. So a person who knows about it, an expert, first of all, he should tell us where it is to be located. Then if we go there and we start, come on, no, it will not come. So we have to do the khananam, digging. There will be so many unwanted things that we have to remove it. And then finally we get the treasure. This is the meaning. So here, the treasure is our core of our being, Satchidananda Swarupam, Nirguna Nirakara Shashvata Ananda Swarupam, the core of our personality, the life force, the awareness, the intelligence. All of us are now in quest of God, means this is God. So we are all, at least we are telling to ourselves, we are all in quest of God. Whether we are in quest of God, only that particular person will know. So we are all in quest of God. So the God is the treasure, and if the treasure has to come, simply by calling it will not come. So Adi Shankara says, we have to do this lot of manana, contemplation, reflection, meditation. This inward journey has to be. So through this in-depth study, Papa is slowly prompting all of us to see between the lines, not merely reading the narrative. Each and every chapter gives us profound meanings, clues, hints for us. So unless we dig deep into it, we may not be able to. So that is what he engaged us for the past 7-8 months now, or 9 months. And so now he says, by your grace now we are eager to do the in-depth journey into ourselves to find the treasure. You also made us understand that in fact we are eager to find the treasure from the time we were born. Though we were not knowing, but we did not know where to dig and how to dig. Today we will dig here, then to leave it there. Then we will dig here, we will leave it there. So we have not been able to reach. Today we will go to this temple, we will go to this Mahatma, we will read this book. And nothing we take it seriously, But unless and we dig in a particular place, we will not be able to strike the water or treasure. So that's what he says. From the time we were born, but we did not know where to dig and how to dig. Through the grace, you provided us the jnana to where to dig, which is deep into our own self. By your grace, you have given us ever powerful tool, the Rama Mantra, as the shovel to dig the mud. Now we understand that the mud is the limitation or the vasanas to reach the treasure. We are slowly removing the mud and going deep within, moment by moment. Previously, we used to dig whenever we are free and go back to other activities and come back to dig whenever we are free again. Now, by your grace, we are in constant digging. Moment by moment, day by day, week by week, the process of digging is going on. By your grace, now intellectually we are able to understand that you are making us to do the digging. Previously we thought we were doing it. Intellectually we understand that one day the digging will be over and there is no gap between the digger and the treasure. And the treasure only remains, which is you only. Theoretically, in-depth study of IQG will come to an end by 27th December 22. But we don't know about the end of the in-depth journey into our own self. By your grace, we are not worried about that moment. You are making us enjoy every moment of the journey and sweetness of the Satsang with you. Keep us ever blessed with this state and help us to move towards you. With love, your child. Very nice words. Once again, we will read very thought-provoking, interesting, inspiring letter. As we are progressing in in-depth study of the inquest of God, you are slowly making us aware. Should I keep on doing this? You are slowly making us aware of the fact that in fact we are making an in-depth study into our own life. Though we started with the feeling that we are making an in-depth study of IQG, that is Inquest of God, slowly the revelation comes, we are trying to make an in-depth study of our own self. In fact, we are making an in-depth digging into our life to find the treasure. By your grace, now we are eager to do the in-depth journey into ourselves to find the treasure. You also made us understand that in fact we are eager to find the treasure from the time we were born. The sense of fullness, sense of completeness. God stands for Poornam. With this also I will become complete. With this I will become complete. With this I will become complete. This has been the motivating force right from the moment we came into this world. And we were striving. As soon as we hit the target is shifted to something else. So that means we are still searching, but we don't know that we are searching Him. In fact, we were eager to find the treasure from the time we were born, but we did not know where to dig and how to dig. Through the grace, you provided us the jnana to where to dig, which is deep into our own self. By your grace, you have given us the ever powerful tool, the Rama Mantra, as the shovel to dig the mud. Now we understand that the mud is the limitation of the vasanas, the baggage which we carry to reach the treasure, and we are slowly removing the mud and going deep within, moment by moment. Previously, we used to dig whenever we were free and go back to other activities and come back to the digging whenever we are free again. Now, by your grace, we are in constant digging. Moment by moment, day by day, week by week, the process of digging is going on. By your grace, now intellectually we are able to understand that you are making us to do the digging. Previously we thought that we were doing it. Intellectually we understand that one day the digging will be over. When there is no gap between the digger and the treasure. There is no gap between the digger and the treasure sought. And the treasure the treasure only remains, which is you only. Theoretically, in-depth of study of IQG will come to an end by 27th December 2022. But we don't know about the end of in-depth journey into our own self. By your grace, we are not worried about that. You are making us enjoy every moment of the journey and sweetness of the Satsang with you. Keep us ever blessed with this state. Help us move towards you. With love, your child. Anybody would like to say anything? All are hearing.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji.
If we are on in-depth study, This letter reminds us, are we on an in-depth study or are we taking everything casually without seriously applying our mind? If we are moving with all seriousness, then these are all the expressed forms. Because we are placing ourselves before Him. At least when He prompts us to read, He prompts somebody to send a letter, email. He is prompting us to read. It is a reminder to all of us. Why should He prompt us to read the email? Like that we have to go through now. We are not just reading an email. He is prompting somebody to write a letter like this or an email like this. And now suddenly He makes us to share it with you. So it is a message given by Him to all of us. That if we are a little more serious, we will be engaging ourselves in such activities. Otherwise, every day we are attending, that's all. So whether the in-depth study is taking place or not, each one should ask for himself or herself.
Swamiji, I think we think that everybody is taking it very seriously, Swamiji. Yes, that
No.
introspection is definitely going on inside.
Good. Because at the start, you remember, He prompted us to use the word manual of our life. Just like normally people say Srimad Bhagavad Gita as a manual for life. It is addressed to the man on the field. Similarly, In Quest of God is addressed to the man on the field. Not to a person who is in an ashram. Not to a person who is staying in Himalayas. But Papa was dealing with men and matters who are leading an ordinary life, practical life. He was mingling with common people. He was interacting with people who are leading a usual life, common run of life. So many of the teachings, which we name it as teachings, many of the words of wisdom, it will be useful for our workaday life. That is why it is called manual. So when I meet with trying moments, immediately now the question will come, Papa, if Papa was there, how he would have dealt with it? It will give me some cushioning, some support, some guidance. So for that, this should enter into us, into our thinking system. That means the In Quest of God book I need not touch. But the theme should be embedded in. This is what is called in-depth study. This is what the shloka said. Merely by reading we will not get. Papa uses the same word. He said, if you want to understand Ramdas's words, through mere superficial churning of thought. So we should remember to bring somewhere. Through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light in them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind. Through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. These are his words. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. That means when I go through in quest of God, for example, I must go through my life and then integrate how I behaved, thinking that I am an individual. Now I come to know how, if this knowledge was there, how I would have behaved. At least from here onwards, I will try to behave. So every time I stitch with, my life is there, God has given us. Wisdom teachings are there from inquest of God. There should be an effort to stitch, like a tailor stitches, stitch these words of wisdom with my life. How did I react to events and individuals? I would have failed, but at least now I will know I have failed. I should change myself. This is what he expects all of us. Through mere superficial churning of thought, Ramdas's words cannot be understood. You can throw light on them only when you bring with you the blazing torch of your own perfected experience. Experience is gained by diving into the depth of your mind.
Swamiji,
Ah.
Swami,
Ah.
can you clarify this? Can you please clarify what is the meaning of perfected experience?
Not when it's casual, na.
Serious.
So many things happen in our life. Do we register it in our mind? Knowingly doing. Then only we will be able to remember this. Right from morning till evening, we are involved in various activities, but at the end of the day, only a few remain in our memory. That which has impacted us to 1 degree, 5, 10 degrees, or 25 degrees, or 100 degrees. So here Papa says perfected experience. Not merely an experience. At least from now we will try, no? Forget about what had happened. No, when we jot down the points that well up in our hearts when we go through. As we said earlier, our attempts brought out 198 points from these 37 chapters. It could still be more. Now, when we go through it again and again and again and again, at least a few of them will definitely occupy our mind, which will have its own impact in all our thoughts, words, and deeds. That is the tangible gain of this in-depth study. Otherwise, in quest of God, like any other book, that also will be passed on. But during the centenary year, he prompted all of us to take up. Why, we take it. We don't know whether it is right or wrong. We take it that as soon as he was touched and kindled, it took only 2 years for him to scale the heights. But we have been in touch with Papa or Anandashram or Ramnam or all this background for the past so many decades. We are now checking up what happened to us. So that is why Papa prompted us this: bygones are bygones. At least now you make a serious effort to draw the essence from this text, which will help you in your day-to-day life, family life, professional life, social life. He was mingling with family people, professional people, social people, and also sadhakas, bhaktas. So it is an all-comprehensive. Think about it. Because in quest of God, it is a treasure. Keep on unearthing it. You will get it one by one, one by one, one by one.
Very well.
Anything else?
Swamiji, I think the experiences which Puja Papaji got will not be just and cannot be by an ordinary person under circumstances. If he or she just goes there in a jungle. In a jungle he was so dare enough to just have under the gunny bag where all kinds of reptiles and other were there. Did not affect him. It is all God's grace. It is Ram. Will it be possible under circumstances with all the mindset to continue there in the jungle by us if we go and undergo the experiences?
He does not He does not expect us to do the same thing, That is, on the superficial plane, there is an incident. But if we dive deep into it, forget about all these incidents. What is the treasure that we are unearthing?
Have the patience enough.
That you have to dig out,
Okay.
Love for all, living unperturbed, faith in God.
Sure.
All those things are the things, Nobody expects that. Nobody can do another yatra. Leave alone Papas. What you are leading the life, nobody can lead, It is not possible.
Papa alone can do that.
Papa does it in his own way. Every Mahatma has led it in his own way, but we are trying to see the word, the wisdom, the pearls of wisdom, so that we can apply it in our own life. So not that we have to travel to Rameshwaram and then get down at that this thing and then walk 6 miles, but the message is be positive. In a relatively negative atmosphere, when somebody talks ill of, when the two boys made some comment, he was able to transform them. The message is what? Even under provocative circumstances, it is our attitude that transforms the other person. So like that, we try to dig out, not to follow what he did. That's why, when we dig about 198, it is not that 198 points we will be able to implement it. But that process will definitely give us some clues, some hints, some guidance, some directions to deal with everything peacefully, calmly, successfully.
Yes, Swami. Yes, Swami. Hari Om.
One more small email. Listening to Saturday's Satsang, an uneasy feeling came to the heart concerning the arrogance of my wording. I thought I could tell because anyway nothing could affect you. I thought I was free from personal attachment but failed. My justification was found in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 7, sloka number 17 or 18. But just now I understand he is dear to me, or I cherish my very self, concern only the saints. To the aspirant is the promise to reach the goal. Counting on your infinite mercy, I shall overcome, intensify, make it exclusive. When we read certain slokas, we may come across this in the 12th chapter, at the end of the last 7 chapters. He will say, "Who is my dearest devotee?" Unless we have some clarity on the word "my," we will not be able to understand. So the impersonal aspect has to be grounded in us. Who is my dearest devotee? He says, I have to become God's devotee, greatest devotee, dearest devotee. Then I should qualify myself. So the message is I should qualify myself. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuneya vaja. If I develop these qualities, or if I watch whether these qualities are in me, when it is put to test whether I hold on to these values or compromise, then that gives me the feeling I am yet to become his dearest devotee. That is how I try to improve myself. So to the aspirant, it is a promise to reach the goal, as the devotee has written. By taming, by fine-tuning my behavior, I will be able to reach the goal. So, just like in Bhagavad Gita, in quest of God also, I must try. That is the very purpose of this in-depth study. So by the time we all meet from 24th December to 30th December, we are praying to Papa now. Kindly enable us to have the feeling that we are moving towards you closer, so that it doesn't become an academic exercise. It stays with us. When Puja Mataji wanted us to go through these 11 times of Inquest of God, she specifically said, the first thing is we will try to go within. Second thing is we will have some idea about the Nirguna Tattva. Third thing is, after the 11th reading, it is not that we will become an evolved soul, but we are on the process of an evolved soul. 3 things Puja Mataji reminded us when she wanted us to take up 11 times reading of Inquest of God. First one is the tendency to go within. That will get started. Second thing is we will have more and more clarity on the Nirguna aspect. Third thing is, by the time we finish, we would have set ourselves on the process. So similarly, we take it that this 1 year into in-depth study will definitely put us to have these 3 in us. One is the tendency to go within. Second is to have a fairly good idea about the impersonal aspect of God. And third thing is that we will be setting ourselves on the process of realizing Him. So we pray to Him, kindly intensify this. 9%. Anything else? Probably from tomorrow, we are not sure, for the next 10 days, we are likely to be away.
2 weeks.
So we have not yet decided. So then reading will be there going on, or you will all do some deep mananam, and by the time we can come back, we would have already, Papa would have already facilitated us or helped us to become more and more receptive and take out the best advantage from in-depth study of IQG. Most probably from tomorrow for another 10 days or 15 days. So during this period, it is better to go deeper into this.
So, Swamiji, no more holding hands.
Huh?
So, no more holding hands.
No more holding hand.
Hand is there, we have to, he has always extended his hand. We have to catch hold of him, that's all. We have to extend our hand. His hand. Yesterday we read,
Yes, sir.
Huh? Somewhere we read. Speed up, my child, come up. Here is my hand. Grasp it and rise out of the bondage in which you are. Ram asks you in all love and kindness, speed up, my child, come up. Here is my hand. Grasp it. Rise out of the bondage in which you are. Everything is there in Quest of God. We are reading from In Quest of God only. Anything that comes in our mind, you will find it there. You are not weak, Ramdas. You are all powerful. Ram has infused into you his divine effulgence. You are the infinite seed. Ram has thrown flood of light into you. Wake up. You are strong. You can conquer everything by the power of Ram's love. Don't grovel. Don't feel weak. From hilltops, from housetops, sound the trumpet of Ram's glory, Ram's love. Be bold. Forward. March. Brave the storm. Destiny is your slave. Keep her under your foot. What fear have you when Ram is your ally? Leave off narrow limitations. Rise and soar and grasp the whole globe in one embrace of love. Your dwelling place is the whole universe, which is your body. You live in it as love. There is naught but love, love supreme. Every leaf, every blade of grass, every particle of dust, every tiniest life sings aloud of thy love, O Ram. Every moonbeam, every sun's ray, every twinkle of the stars radiates thy love, O Ram. Every tear, every smile, every ripple, every sweet whisper of joy is pregnant with thy love, O Ram. O Ramdas, right to the very height of renunciation, and there sit on its crest and view the transient nature of the whole show around you. Everywhere you see birth, growth, death, all are running finally along the same road to destruction. What a terrible state of despair would have faced man in the midst of this vast cremation ground, this vast graveyard where all objects are ultimately reduced to dust and ashes. Had there not been that sweet and eternal influence, the divine ambrosia called love, which is a veritable lustrous reality that runs through the vanishing forms that make up this wild, varied, grand structure of the universe. Love is happiness, love is God, love is Ram. O Ram, fill Ramdas with thy nectarian love. Let no thought of evil, no thought of difference cross his mind. Make him look upon all with the light of love. Every now and then, suppose we go through these outpourings, that will immediately charge, When we are when we want to charge the mobile, the charger is there, even for laptop. So whenever we feel our morale is down, take this book, because these are all the hot pourings of a advanced sadhaka. Very, very charging. Suppose we feel.
Papa was never a sadhaka. Right from the beginning, was a fully realized soul.
He was a realized soul, but still.
He only made the way for a sadhaka.
No. Ours is to see that all these things are welling up in the hearts, of that individual.
పద్నాడు ఉపవాసం పద్నాడు ఉపవాసమా
Something like upavasam.
Upavasam is nearer.
Fasting,
Correct, but meaning is nearer to God. More time they'll be thinking about Satsang and Swamiji if it is not.
Yes, Mataji, we will be upavasa.
Because you will be thinking more time about Swamiji.
Yeah.
Upavasam means sitting near.
Near, that's what.
Yes. Upavasa.
Okay then. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om. Namaskaram, namaskaram. Pranam, pranam, pranam.